Welcome back, fellow coders. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of JavaScript conditional statements. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned developer, understanding conditional statements is essential for writing efficient and dynamic code. So, let's jump right in. First off, what are conditional statements? Well, they allows you to make decisions in our code based on certain conditions. Think of them as the if-then logic of programming. The most basic conditional statement in JavaScript is the if statement. It executes a block of code if a specified condition is true. First of all, come to the VS Code editor and under the basic folder, create one more file named as conditional statement. Conditional statement .js. Hit enter. Then right click on that conditional statement and click on open in integrated terminal. So the terminal will get open with its own path. Okay. Now let me tell you how many type of statements are there that we are gonna see in this tutorial. The first statement is if statement. Then there is else if statement. After that there is else statement. Then there is switch case statement. Okay. Then later on we will see one practical example how exactly they works. Okay, by implementing an app. Okay, so all these things that we are going to see in this practical. The first, let us talk about the syntax first. So what will be its syntax? The first syntax about the if statement, that is if, inside which you have to write the condition, inside which write its statement, and that's it. This is for the if statement. Then the syntax for, let me close out the terminal that you are not required currently. After the if statement, the syntax for else if statement will be like else if, inside which you have to write your own condition, then its statement. Okay, so this is for else if syntax. Then else syntax will be of else, inside which you have to write your own statement. Okay, so this is the else syntax. Let me make it syntax. Okay, so learn this syntax. This syntax understanding is more important while designing any of the code. Okay, so this is the if statement syntax, this is the else if syntax, and this is the else syntax. Then let's talk about the switch case statement syntax. Okay, so this syntax is of like switch, inside which you have to write the condition, then you have to write the case. Suppose a case, then write its statement. After that, break it. Then come to the second case. So inside the switch case statement, you can write multiple cases. Like here I will mention B, then here you can give your statement, and then break it line. Okay, so here you can write multiple syntaxes, like case, n number of syntaxes, and break it. At the last you have to write a default. Okay, the default case will be here, and that also get break, and that's all. So this is all about switch case statement syntax. Okay, now let's try to practically implement this, how exactly it works. Now for example, let's look at the example of switch case statement. Okay, Now you understand the syntax of switch case statement, how exactly it looks like. Okay, for that we have taken one switch inside which we have passed the condition, and inside the curly braces we are returning case, and we are checking the case of A. Then if condition becomes true, then it will get break. If the condition becomes false, then directly it will jump onto the B statement. If here the statement becomes false, then it will jump onto the C condition. So that's how it works. And inside the switch case statement, you can write multiple statements. Instead of statements, you can say you can write multiple cases where you can check your conditions, and if none of the condition becomes true, then the default will get printed up there. Okay, let me tell you in a practical way. So let's first initialize the value. Example on switch case statement. Okay, so let me first initialize the value. Okay, here I will initialize the value as a late, let's say month is equals to January. Okay, then later on we will apply the syntax, which is a switch case statement. Okay, so here right click, okay, anyways, when you are writing the switch, there you will get switch statement. Okay, just click on it. Instead of key, write the variable name, which is a month. So here just copy that month and paste it here. Now in the value, you can pass the value as a January. Okay, and instead statement, you can type console.log and just write January. Okay, and if this condition becomes true, it will get break. That means it will not jump onto the second case. If this condition becomes false, it will jump onto the next case. Let me show you that case. So here I will mention Feb, then CLG, and inside the CLG I will write February, and then I will break it. The same goes for one more time. Let's say March, CLG, inside which I will say March and break it. In default, I will give the statement please provide valid month. Okay, now the next thing that we are gonna do, let's try to print out this value, what we are getting, which condition is getting true. If this condition becomes true, then it will break that flow and will jump onto the next line of code. That means it will jump out of the block of code. Now this is nothing but from here to here is a block of code. Actually, you can call from this curly brace to this curly brace, you can call it as a block of code. Once this condition becomes true, it will break that flow and will jump out of that code and will start working on the next line of code. Welcome on the next line. Now in the second, as in the first case I have mentioned, if the condition becomes true, it will break the flow and will jump on to the out of the block of code, and it will start looking into this one. Now if this condition becomes false, then it will come to the second condition. If this second condition also becomes false, it will come to the third condition. Now if this third condition becomes true, it will break the line of code. That means it will break the flow and will come out of the block of code and will start working on this code. Okay, so this is how exactly it works. Now let me show you in a practical scenario on a console log. Let's try to print out the value, what exactly we are getting here. Now here I will type cd, not cd, node conditional statements. .js and hit enter. Now here throw error statements. Oh sorry, we have typed the wrong spelling. It is conditional statement only and hit enter. Now here what exactly we have got? First we have initialized the value of month as a Jan. Then it enters into the block of code. There it have checked the condition. Here the case have Jan. Here the condition becomes true. Once the condition becomes true, it will print its statement and break the flow of code. Once it break the flow of code, it will jump out of the block of code. Once it jump out of the block of code, it will continue on to the next line of code. Okay, so this is, as here you can see the initialized value as the Jan, and here after entering into the block of code, there you can see this condition becomes true. It prints out its statement, then break that flow of code, then come out of that block of code and start working on the next line of code, which is out of the block of code. Okay, now we will check, we will type here new condition. I will make it a March. Okay, so here the third condition will become true. Let me try to print out this value. Now here March is coming as a true. Now let me mention here, in a month the value which we have initialized, that is a March. So after entering into the block of code, here the first condition becomes false, because in this first condition they have mentioned as a January. So the value which we have passed, that is not a January. So first condition becomes false. Now coming to the second condition, the value which we have passed during the initialization, that is a March. So in this case it's a February. So this condition also becomes false. It will jump on to the next case. Now in this case, the value which we are getting, that is a March, and that is totally equivalent to the initialized value, the value which we have initialized for the month. That condition is becoming true. So March is equivalent to the March. That's why this condition becomes true, and it print out this statement, which is a March. If we check at the console log, there here you are getting as a March. Okay, so once this condition becomes true here on the first on this line of code, here the condition becomes true. After the condition becoming true, it will print out this statement as a March, that we can see on the console.log. After that, it will break out the flow of code. Once the flow got broken, it will jump out of the block of code and will continue on to the next line of code. Now here the next line of code mention welcome to the next line, and that same thing we are getting. First, when the condition becomes true, it print out that statement as a March. It got printed. Then it breaks the flow. It come out of the block, and there it have printed this line of code. So in simple manner, we can see once the condition becomes true, it will print out its statement. It will break the flow of code. It will come out of the block of the code and will print the next line of code. And the same thing happens. The condition becomes true. It prints its statement. Then come out of the block of the code and print the welcome to the next line. So this is how it works. Now, if I try to make the condition something different, like I will mention April. Okay. But here, when you come to the block of code, in this condition, the April is not mentioned in any of the case. So all of these cases will become false. So in that case, what will happen? Let's try to figure it out. Let me clear out the terminal. Okay. So here we have got the please provide a valid month. Okay. Now, as you can see, this condition becomes false, this condition also becomes false, this condition also becomes false, because what the value which we have initialized, that is not mentioned in any of the cases. So all of the condition are false. So in that case, when all the condition becomes false, it will print the default case, the default case in which we have passed the statement as a please provide valid month. When each and every condition becomes false, or we can say when each and every case becomes false, it will print out the default statement, and the default statement says please provide valid month, and the same thing we are getting on the console screen, which is please provide valid month. And it break down that flow of code. That means whatever the flow was going on, it after printing please provide valid month, it break out the flow of that code, it comes out of the block of code and prints the next line of code, which is the welcome on the next line. So this is how the switch case statement works practically. Okay, now we will do another thing. We'll try to implement one more example on the basis of if else statement. Okay, so for that we'll try to design one weather app. Okay, let me comment out this, let me hide this terminal. Now here let's say weather app. Now while designing this weather app, first of all we have to initialize the value. Let's say let weather is equals to sunny. Okay, now the weather is sunny. Okay, or else we will wait for initializing the value, we will make it empty first. Then I will give the if statement inside which I will pass the condition. The condition says weather is strict equals to sunny. If the condition becomes true, see, the same thing will happen in the if case statement as well. In the if case statement, if the only if the condition is becoming true, the value inside that like let's say this is the if statement. If this if statement, I mean currently we are in the if statement. Inside this if statement, the condition that we have passed here, if that condition becomes true, then only inside which the statement will get print out. If that condition becomes false, it will print out the else statement. Let me show you. So here, if the condition which we have passed inside the if statement, that is a weather is strict equals to sunny. So here I will pass the statement as a CLG, and I will mention, oh gosh, it's a beautiful day. Now after this condition I will take else if. Inside the else if we can pass another condition as a weather is strict equals to rain, and if this condition becomes true, it will print out the its statement. So I will mention CLG, and I will mention here please carry your umbrella with you. If both of the condition becomes false, in that case the else statement will get print, and inside which I will pass the statement as the message will be oh sorry, check back later to get the latest update on weather report. Okay, so let me explain you the code. First of all, we have to initialize the value. okay, that what type of weather there is. Okay, in the if condition, if condition, there we are passing one condition. If this condition becomes true, then only inside which the statement that we have given that will get printed. If this condition becomes false, it will jump onto the, listen, like if this condition becomes true, then only inside statement will get print. If this condition becomes false, at that time it will jump onto the next condition. In the next condition, it will check weather is equals to rainy. If this condition becomes true, then only the inside statement will get print. If this condition also becomes false, then it will print the else statement, where none of the condition will be checked, because whatever the conditions are given, that becomes false. So it will, in that case, if all the condition becomes false, in that case the else statement will get print out. Now for example, in weather I have passed out the sunny season. Now I will come to the if condition. In this if condition, I will try to figure it out whether the weather is sunny or not. Now here, this is my if condition. In that condition I have passed weather is equals to sunny. So that means our condition becomes true. If our condition becomes true, in that case the inside statement will get print out. Okay. Now if I make it rainy, and we will try to check the first condition. Now the first condition says the weather is sunny. So weather is sunny or not? No. Weather is rainy. So the first condition becomes false. So it will jump on to the next condition, which is a else if. There it will check the condition whether the weather is rainy or not. Yes, the weather is rainy. That means this condition becomes true. So it will print out the inside statement. Now let me make it something summer. Now let's try to figure it out whether the first condition is becoming true. No, the weather are different. So first condition becomes false. It will jump on to the next condition. Is that next condition is true? Weather is rainy, and here the weather is summer. So second condition also becomes false. So it will jump on to the next condition, which is the else statement, and it will print out the else statement. Okay, let's try to run this program. Here I have taken the weather as a summer. Now I will try to check whether I will get the output or not. Here that the first condition and second condition becomes false. That's why it have printed the else statement, which is a check back later to get the latest update on weather report. The same thing is getting printed out here because above two condition becomes false. That's why the else statement got printed. Now let's try to type here sunny. Now I have passed the initial value for weather as a sunny. If I try to check out the condition in a if statement, the condition which I have passed, that is becoming true. So it will print out the inside statement and other statement will get breakdown. Okay, so it will print only, oh gosh, it's a beautiful day. Let's try to print out this. Let me clear out the terminal first. And here I have got the output as a, oh gosh, it's a beautiful day. The reason behind we are getting this output because the first condition becomes true, so the inside statement got printed out. Now let me change the weather. I will make it, I will initialize the value as a rainy. So whether the first condition is becoming true or not, no. Here in the first statement the condition is sunny, that's why the first condition becomes false. So it will continue on to the else if condition. In the else if condition, there the weather seems to be rainy and the value which we have passed, that is also rainy. So the second condition becomes true. So it will print out the inside statement. Please carry your umbrella with you. Let's try to figure it out. Yes, we are getting the same output. Please carry your umbrella with you. So this is how the conditional statement works in JavaScript. And there you have it, folks. Conditional statements in JavaScript are powerful tools for controlling the flow of your code based on different conditions, whether it's a simple if statement or a complex switch statement. Mastering these constructs will take your coding skills to the next level. Thanks for watching and happy coding. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more coding tutorials, and don't forget to press that bell icon to get early updates from this channel. Until next time, happy coding.